we made this video. There's a subreddit called Instagram versus Reality, which I love and I frequent, where they take pictures of social media celebrities and compare them to candid photos to show you what a ridiculous difference there is. And some of them are just breathtaking. I mean,
it's kind of mind-blowing. That was my reaction at first when you started showing me some of those submissions on that subreddit.
Yeah. And they're mega, these are mega celebs. I'm talking about like the Kardashians, first of all. There's some that they just look horrid.
Yeah.
Fake butt,
fillers.
fake tits, obviously fake tits.
Yeah.
I can't stand fake tits on a personal note. I've seen Kim Kardashian's boobs and they suck. I think that it looks ridiculous, like fake boobs like that, because they just look like, I mean, it no longer looks like a sexual organ to me. It just looks like there's someone shoved a bunch of crap under your skin. And there's like stretch marks and shit. It's not even possible to achieve. But like there's one of Tana where she's in the ocean and her body looks like perfect. She's got like a perfect abs, big round butt, huge boobs, but it looks all natural and she looks like oh, this girl's in phenomenal shape. And then you see like a shot from an Insta story that somebody took, and she's like, I said she looks like she went from a mermaid to a manatee. And of course, you know, I'm trying to be funny. That's my primary objective here. So, but I consider her fair game because she's the one that's photoshopping herself.
YouTube comments.
But regardless, so anyway, that's the video, and there's some drama. But then what really came of this is this girl, Trisha. What was her name? Fucking hell, I keep forgetting. Paytas. I didn't know who she was, to be honest with you. But I guess she's actually quite a big YouTuber. She has like 5 million followers or something. And so we put her in the thumbnail because her comparison was just so epic to me. And nothing personal about her. I don't know anything about her, obviously. But I guess she has a knack for dramatics. Somebody predicted in the comments or on Twitter before she responded. He says, you know, she already clickbait a 20-minute vid of her crying, calling it now. So that was, so anyway, so here's the response. Started with a tweet. There was like so many. There was like hundreds of tweets. I'm not even going to bother to go through because there's literally like 50 tweets. But this was my favorite one. She says, please, Ela Klein, do not raise your child to be as ignorant as your husband. I would divorce him ASAP as he's causing so much damage to young women. It's actually sickening. I've never been more disgusted. That you stand by him is even more disgusting. So I guess what's better for our child is to be raised by divorced parents. This is why I love this. This is the same person on the same day wearing the same outfit. Whenever I see something like this, I'm like, listen, you can fool the whole world, but you can't fool yourself, man. The one on the left is in the VIP area. The one on the right is in the P area. I don't know what that means. One on the left looks like she's at Coachella. The one on the right looks like she's at No-Chella. The one on the left is on the beach. The one on the right just washed up on the beach. Yes! This girl is the spokesman of Instagram reality. Why are you even a model if you're gonna modify your looks that much? It's like from beauty queen to WWF wrestler in 2 seconds. You cannot Photoshop your heart and soul. Remember that. This girl tried to use a face filter on Instagram and her phone blew up. Here's another one of her. She is the best. Isn't she not the best? Would people even recognize her if they saw her on the street? I mean, she is unrecognizable. This is Coachella versus throwing down in the McDonald's parking lot at 3 a.m. This is Coachella versus World Star Hip Hop. No! That cannot be the same person. Dude, Coachella versus open casket funeral. Oh, damn, Tana's looking pretty good these days. Oh, I can't believe it's the same day. She looks like a Twinkie. This is what TanaCon was promoted as and what TanaCon ended up actually being. Kylie Jenner, here, that's the same person. Believe it or not, that is the same person. Unhypnotize yourself, if you would please, and realize that this is the very same person, the same haircut, the same style. It's all there. What's the difference? NASA was working round the clock on this Photoshop on the left. And while we're on the topic of the Kardashians, I have to show you this. I know it's a fad for all these girls to have big asses, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with a big, beautiful, natural tuchus, as my mom says in Yiddish. But here, I want you to see what these ass implants actually look like. Tana, what are you doing? Oh my God, it's so messed up because Tana's got these young, impressionable audience that's gonna look at this and really get messed up over it because it's just messed up to show yourself like a beautiful mermaid when in actuality you're more of a manatee. She's spent her time grazing in the ocean, not freaking hanging out on boats. That's not her natural habitat. I'm not gonna say anything about the First Lady because I respect the office. All I will say is, in the words of her, be best. And if being best means dedicating an entire wing of the NSA to Photoshop your pictures, then so be it, be best. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. I want you to look at this and feel better. If you saw this girl on the left on Instagram, would you feel insecure? No, because that's what a real person looks like. I mean, what the hell? I want you watching right now to know that there's plenty of guys out there that would go, dinner time, Meanwhile, you know what Chloe's thinking right now? She's going, I wonder, can I Photoshop my soul for being nude? She's like a pornographer.
Well, yeah, I don't think you should.
I just want to show her picture because I saw that tweet and I wasn't going to say anything, but obviously when people attack Hila, it's mask off. And I saw her profile pic and I go, who is this rude person? I don't recognize her from her profile picture. Does anyone know her? And then she responded, suicide from bowling is fucking real. I pray to God you never know anyone firsthand that ends their life from that shit. It's not a joke. It's fucking real, you sicko. Oh, man. Yeah. She took it to the max. Crying on her kitchen floor of all places. And I have never seen her videos, so when I first opened this,
I don't feel like people know how.
I was like, God damn! Like, I have a lot of questions. First is, why are you on your kitchen floor? There's got to be a better setting for this. But I feel like she's framed it up to be like just like the saddest sight possible.
Yeah.
On my kitchen cold floor tiles in front of my refrigerator. Yeah, here, let me show you the beginning real fast. H3 is harming young girls is the title. And of course, the downvote ratio is brutal. Yeah, here she is.
Hey guys, what is up? It is freaking 6 in the morning. I really didn't get a lot of sleep last night, or the night before.
Well, you can't blame me for that one. I just made this video.
Fair warning, I've been kind of going through it. I've been kind of going through it, and I'm trying to contain and reel in my emotions and
fast forward
on such a big platform and like shaming these women. Like,
yeah,
I did fast forward to my part. I didn't really watch the other people. He talked about Chloe, and then right after me, he talked about Tana's body, like her photo versus her reality. I mean, he literally on one of my photos said she went from beauty queen to a monster.
I literally didn't say that. Wait, I didn't say that.
And
like, come on, I'm more insulted that I think my jokes were pretty good. At least quote what I said. I think of her, I said, she went from Coachella to open casket funeral. Yeah. But here, this part was funny that Zach spotted.
It's just like, I don't feel like people know how damaging that is. And he's like cackling and laughing and thinking he is just doing the Lord's work here on YouTube. Like,
what?
She just said he's Catholic?
She's saying, damn, you just have to take one look at my face and know that I'm not Catholic. She was like, oh, he's a hypocrite, I guess, because he's Catholic and he's making fun of people. Yeah, well, sorry, lady. Jews can say whatever the hell we want. Yeah, funny stuff. She's a character, Ed. She's a character.
Hey, I turned out fine. You know, having 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays ain't a bad thing.
You saying turned out fine. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Look who's talking.
Hey, I would never say I turned out fine.
The most dysfunctional family.
I literally would never say I turned out fine, even though I did. I turned out okay. I'm
no,
functional.
Just because you make money doesn't mean
you're
okay.
way crazier than me.
That's so not true.
No, but you're way crazier than me.
That's not true.
Bro, that's objectively true.
You hide it more, just like Mikey, who hides shit.
Oh, really?
It all gets brought to the surface.
I don't hide
later
anything.
On.
I literally don't. You literally just said how honest I am, and you respect that about
But
me.
you hide the crazy, is what I'm saying.
Not
Push somebody to the level of like saying this, and this, and then also be like, now you're weaponizing me. You push and push and push constantly.
Nah, you're fucked
do.
up.
You're fucked up. You're the pusher and the gaslighter. And be like, oh my god, how could you say that about me? Meanwhile, this whole time being like,
I'm not
you're crazy,
saying-
you're fat,
I'm
you're
just
this, you're this. Oh, we're just joking, but then you go to another level. No,
Everything
it
I'm
doesn't
talking
work
about
that
is
way.
on the table, right?
Okay, mine's on the table too.
Everything
no.
we always talk about. So, but you're like, okay, what can I use to really hit him right now?
No, that's
what you do.
Fucking gaslighting 101.
Bro, I'm not
Yes,
gaslighting.
you are.
This is what you
be
do to
like-
people.
No.
I'm just telling
After you just push and push and push.
I don't-
Every
I'm not
single episode
pushing.
You do. You do. You push so hard. You get that for
We're
everything.
goofing
everything
around.
you
It's
do.
all
Are we?
here. I'm not like
Crazy is goofing around. That's so offensive.
okay. I mean, I've called you crazy a lot. I don't know that it's so offensive to you.
In this situation, yes.
Okay, but
So
like,
don't come for me saying I'm weaponizing you when you push
But then
me.
say, you know what? I don't appreciate you calling me crazy instead
Call
of
me
being
crazy. I'll say everything. It's not what do I
But-
weaponize
but
myself?
so why should I? Why
I
should
weaponize myself by being like,
Why
hey, guess
should
what?
anybody
Fuck off
ever
meds.
confide in you?
I'm not saying you should.
I never said you're off
You
your
didn't
meds.
confide in me. You're not like, hey, I gotta tell you something real serious. Like, oh yeah,
And
pills are
God
fun.
forbid anyone ever does that.
It's so rude.
But why do you
Sorry.
think that like all your friendships, like a lot of your friendships go
I've
to
had
shit?
friends for so many
And
years.
all of your boyfriends and relationships. That's what I'm worried about
Boyfriends is
Moses is
different.
that she's got a Rolodex of all this shit on you. And then when shit goes wrong, she's going to try to ruin
Shit
your
has
fucking
gone
life.
wrong, and I don't expose stuff I know. Like,
Well, yes, you did.
no, I didn't.
Well, you did accuse him of fucking kind of flirting with underage girls.
No, that wasn't it. That was not. We've
Well,
already
that
gone
was
over
kinda
this.
fucked up.
No, we.
You're like, oh, I had a fight. I'm going to accuse him of being with underage
First,
girls.
I'm not accusing him of everything. The
I'm
DMs
just-
were out there. They were publicly put out there.
Yeah,
all the DMs.
they were posted by your alt account and it had like 3 likes.
We know that wasn't.
It
me.
literally had
It's been
3
confirmed.
likes. Okay, but anyway, not confirmed by me.
And I've had friends for a very long time. I have friendships that have lasted well over 10 years, and I'm still friends with Andrew,
Jeffree
Michael,
Star just
Shane.
unfollowed you. I'm just
Jeffrey, I've
kidding.
been
I
friends
don't
with
care.
for like a year and a half. Oh, that's kidding. See, that would also be considered, oh, that's
was
weaponizing against me, but now it's a joke because why?
Well,
You're a
you're the one
comedian.
that told me
oh,
he
I'm on a
unfollowed
podcast.
you.
It's funny. Anything you say, those are jokes. Those are jokes.
It's
He's
all on the
you
table.
weaponize. This is how guys do it with girls. Oh my God, you
That
weaponize.
pill
but
story
me-
I told you wasn't on the table.
Okay, but that's not weaponizing. You talk
Yes,
about
it
stuff-
is.
Oh, really? You talk about stuff all the time that's like, what about when you push me to show you how much I made on that video? You're like, you do this. You were fucking being an
It's
asshole.
all on the table,
It's not
though.
on the table. You forced me. You were literally like, get your phone out fucking now. Do this right now. Like,
You
you were
could've-
so
you never
fucking
told me
aggressive.
no.
I
You-
did. I said, please don't. Please edit this out. It's on the podcast. I was like begging. There's like tears in my eyes. I'm like, please edit this out because like I really didn't know.
Well, so that's me being an asshole, but it's all on the table.
It's not. Okay, you weaponized it, whatever. It's not
Well,
on the
you were-
table.
you thought
you
that-
pushing someone to do something they're not comfortable with, that's that's worse. That's fucking way worse. I'm not saying I'm a saint at it or at all, but you're awful. You are awful. I mean, you got better.
I am awful.
But I'm just saying
You're right.
you
But
weaponize
can't-
people and push people, like pushing people to do stuff they don't want to do. And you've done it multiple times on multiple shows, and it's just not cool.
Life
Bad
isn't about
horse.
views.
It literally is about views. All you care about is like working, doing this, making
You're literally
money.
projecting on me. You call me money hungry, and it's like literally all you do is just obsess over money.
I mean, I'm not saying that. See, I hate when people, that's fucking weaponizing, when people throw it back on me. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. If I call someone out for being racist, doesn't mean I haven't said racist things in my past. It's also just being like, hey, I'm holding a fucking mirror up to you.
No, that's not true.
That is 100% true.
Okay, whatever. You
It's not projecting. Like, I'm not saying, hey, I love money too. Fuck yeah, fuck give me money. But like, it's not.
just
to say,
because you love money doesn't mean that you have
you
insight
are
to every
so
single person.
hungry. You so are.
No, I'm not.
When we were going to be 50-50 on the show originally, okay, here's weaponizing, saying stuff that's not
Dude,
on the
I give
table.
you the most
Then
generous fucking
you came
deal.
Back 5
Go
minutes
ahead.
later and said, actually, 45 out of 45,
Yeah.
55. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and you said to pay everyone. Okay, cool. I get that. Cool. But then to be like, and I'm just going to keep all the highlights for costs or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
How about what? Like, just recoup.
We spent $50,000 on this set.
Recoup
We have a
it.
full set of guys that are working
so that's
all
the
around the
5%
clock.
of our podcast. That
And I literally and you get 45%. That seems like a great fucking
and
deal.
0 of the highlights.
The
Like, I don't
highlights
care.
is nothing,
I don't
dude.
care.
It's
I'm
just
saying,
it's just really annoying to crunch the numbers
Okay,
for a
over
couple
time.
$100.
Over time, it's gonna get money, and it's just like, hey, it's fine. I don't care, but don't say I'm money hungry. I couldn't care less. Like I'm like, whatever. I would do this for free.
So you're
It's
not
fine.
money hungry now.
Huh? I like money. I like money. I'm not money hungry. I'm not driven
whatever.
by
This
money.
is a stupid conversation. All I'm trying to do is give you an important insight
This
to
whole
something
episode,
to do.
you constantly like, move on. We're not talking about that. This is stupid. Like, how come you get to dictate what's stupid and what's not and what's worthy of a conversation and what's
If
not?
you want to talk about
And
something,
but
bring a
it's fine.
conversation.
I don't care. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm saying, but this is what you do to your guests on the
If you
podcast,
want
which
to
is why it's dying, which is why no one's coming back on, which is why you don't get repeat guests. Who's the guy that was so offended when you were on? He was so uncomfortable. I forgot his name. We watched it, and he was so uncomfortable. He's just like, what are you doing? Like, what's happening right now? I forget the guy's name. Eric something? Andre? I don't know.
Eric
Andre? Is that his name?
You don't even know who Eric Andre is?
No, I don't know. But he looked very uncomfortable. I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
Jax Films has been on the episode.
he's the worst, by the way. So I'm
Why? He's really nice.
He's not. He was an asshole to me on the Shane Dawson music video.
Well, maybe he should have been.
Before I was,
Maybe he was right. Maybe he saw something.
No, he's the most problematic, and
Jax Film is not. I gotta stop you there.
No, see, this is what I'm saying. I stop you there. You're trying to silence me. But here's the thing, just like Mikey, we're all woke and we're all PC.
He's not woke.
But okay, so what do you call what you did to me when you push and push and push when I say I'm not comfortable with something? Like, hey, I'm not comfortable with
you
your
could accuse me
money.
of being an asshole.
That's not being an asshole. Like pushing someone when they say I'm uncomfortable.
That's
is
not weaponizing private info.
That is. That totally is. Because you have the power
I can't
of the show.
explain something obvious.
Okay.
My only question to you is, who won World War II? Who won World War II? Was it the Allies or the Axis?
Last episode.
Was it the Allies or the Axis? Who won World War II?
I'm quitting this episode. I'm quitting. You can literally title this last episode. I'm over it.
Did the Nazis win or lose World War II?
I'm over this. I'm so over this, and I really am. Like 100% done with the show.
So this is it?
Yeah.
Why would I ask you about people I hire?
Because it's frenemies and you take the budget for paying the crew. That's what you told me. You take highlights, you take 5% to pay the crew. So why don't I get any input on the crew or what we do?
These are employees of our
So why are you taking
company.
highlights and 5% of frenemies? You told me that it was to pay them, that they could be working.
It's for production costs.
Okay, but you told me
it's for
at the
production
beginning.
Costs.
You told me at the beginning it's like they could be working on other things. So I made that argument too. I'm like, well, they're already H3. Oh, they could be working on other things. So I'm like, okay, in that case,
for production costs. I take 5% extra from the podcast revenue, and I take the highlights revenue, and everything else we split.
Right.
It's literally about we are producing the show, and I'm taking a cut. I feel like that's beyond reasonable.
All the
beyond
highlights.
Reasonable.
5%.
Yes.
5%. Do you realize how much 5% was of our last one? That should be enough. But also like highlights, and then you weren't the membership I had to fight for because you weren't. I forgot to tell you about the members. Like
I giving you
crazy.
50% of all the members, even though we work and do all of the work. I don't know why you fight me on money. The deal you have is beyond reasonable.
Okay.
And I feel like you're gaslighting me, to be honest, saying that you're not like frustrated about
But
that.
I'm not.
Because it really is a source of like every time something comes up where it's like, I hired somebody or this, that, and like, oh, you don't do that much on the show.
I'm bringing attention to it. I'm not upset. I would text you. I would tell you if I was.
It always comes down to, you get this extra 5%. And so
because you're saying, why should I get an input on the employees? That's what you said. And
because
you brought up to me
they
that
don't just work on frenemies, they're my employees.
Okay, but when I said that to you originally, you said, oh, we pay the employees. They could be working on other things. So why don't we have frenemies employees and I get input if we're spending 5% of the budget towards them?
I think that's not what it is.
That's what you said.
So then that's.
But
I don't remember. But that's not
gaslighting
what
is telling someone how they feel, and you're telling me how I feel, and I'm telling you I don't feel frustrated or upset. So I don't know what else that could be. How am I gaslighting you by telling you I'm not feeling this way? How is that gaslighting you? I'm not feeling this way.
Okay.
I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't come here. I would,
You listen. You can.
I never pick the costumes. I never do the vlogs. I give so many ideas. I say dancing for the vlogs. I give all these ideas, and you don't. It's just
what's wrong with that advice
for you? I don't think it's a good segment.
The people want to hear from us.
Okay, do it. I'm
Okay.
telling you my opinion, and all the vlogs we've done, I've suggested other vlogs, and like that never does.
Well, if you don't like it, then we shouldn't do it. Studio downtown. That was always the plan, by the way, that we were going to move downtown, and then all of a sudden, I was like, "Yo," and I was like, "Yo, we're moving." I told you ahead of time, but it's fine because
you didn't tell me downtown.
We're still at my house now, but I said, "Okay." So I was like, "Yo, by the way, we moved into our new office. We're going to be there next week." It's good. And then you're like, "Oh, I don't want to go down there." And but we had made all these plans to move the set and everything and to do everything. So you're like, "I don't want to go down there." And then we talked about it for a little bit, and I said, "Okay, fine." You're so angry about this.
I'm literally not, but it's just so funny. I'm not. I'm angry when you say something.
You need to admit when you're angry.
Ethan, I promise you, this is really is gaslighting. I go to a lot of therapy right now, and this really is. When I say I'm not angry, I'm not. I'm like just trying to tell you that you're like, oh, we do everything for the show, and I'm like saying it's not always good. I'm not angry. If I was angry, I would like leave or something, but I'm not. But you telling me I'm angry
or something. You're not
I'm
upset
not.
or angry. Okay. All right.
But it is. think I'm gaslighting you by saying
you. You're not upset. You're perfectly.
Oh, wow.
You're in a perfect condition right now.
Okay. Wow. Holy cow, that's crazy. I mean, I don't know how you. I just don't see what you just did. That's really.
What
crazy.
did I do?
We have to end it now. Like really.
What did I do?
We got to stop for real. Really. We need
Okay.
to stop. Please. Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you can walk away.
So. No, because I don't want to title this.
It's the pizza curse.
Can we just?
I'm not going to title it Trisha's
right.
thing. It's the pizza curse. It is.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have got pizza. The pizza? Oh no, it was pizza. Trisha, let me just say,
The fact,
I'm sorry.
Ethan, that you just did that. You're right. You're
I don't know
right.
what I
Nothing's
just
wrong
said.
with you. But I go. You don't know how much therapy I go to a week. I go to 4 Zoom
Trisha,
sessions a
you
week.
can't-
No,
I understand,
Ethan,
but okay,
what you
all right.
just said was, "You're right, Trisha. Everything's fine." That's insane. Like the fact that you did that to me is like
It's
insane.
not insane. We're friends.
was
We're
so
having
nice.
a friendly conversation. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around everything I
Okay.
say.
All right, Ethan.
We
I'm
have
asking to end this. I'm asking.
You can
please.
leave anytime, Trisha.
But then you're making this thing where we're not ending the show, and you get to sit here and be like, "Okay, well that just happened," and you're eating pizza, and then
I will
joke
end
and
the
whatever.
show the minute you walk
All right,
off the
so
prayer.
let's just end it, please. Thank you guys for watching, and I don't want it to be a thing where you're just sitting here eating pizza and you become a meme.
So then I'll say, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't want to get in an argument over
I really
like
need
your
to leave.
Okay, all right, we're done. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So you say you're a man. You identify as a man.
I do identify as a
Why are
man.
you dressed as a female?
It's like my character. It's my job. It's like a drag queen, like man dressed as drag because I appreciate
You're
the art and the
drag.
aesthetic.
You're a man in drag.
It's how I look at it. It's like my job, right? Like I show my boobs for
But
a
you've
living.
always
like,
looked like that.
Yeah, because I've always done that. I've been a stripper since I was 15 years old. Like I've
But don't
always
you
done
see
it.
that trans people have a hard time taking that seriously?
Where do you feel like you're a man? Where?
Always inside, like always in my heart. Like I've always been when I don't want the attention, like when I go out and stuff like that. I've always felt male from a very young age. Like it's not about like not wanting to play with Barbies or wanting to only be with guys and stuff like that. It's not like that at all. It's more of just the energy I feel. Like I get uncomfortable when people like obviously it's my job, so now I'm like, oh yeah, talk about my tits all you want. But I've always been uncomfortable if people like talked about like me as a female, referred to me as her, like all that stuff like that. It was always uncomfortable. Even as a kid, I remember not wanting to go in like the girls' bathroom, and there's no way to explain it or to describe it to someone who hasn't felt it. Like
Why do you? It seems that people who are trans have what's called gender dysmorphia. Dysphoria. I'm such an asshole. Sorry. And they attempt to transition to the opposite gender because that's how they see themselves.
Not all transgenders. That's just on the doctors. And gender is not sexuality. It's not It's not what you're assigned with at birth. That's not gender. Your gender isn't what's in your pants. Just because you have a penis doesn't mean you're a male.
Right. There's gender and there's sex.
But then
right?
the fact that you're a trans male, it makes me think that you would want to look more like a male.
No. I like the aesthetic of a woman, but
so tell me what makes a male? What is it that makes you male? Like what does that mean?
It's just your energy and how you feel inside. I've never been a woman. I've never thought of myself as a woman.
Who do you like? Who are you attracted to?
Gay men, homosexual men. I've dated gay men.
Gay men.
Yeah.
And do you think what would a gay man see in you?
I've dated a gay man for a year and a half.
But like, so what does he get out of dating you? Because you don't. I mean, you look like a female and you don't have a penis, so presumably.
It's just male. It's just the male energy. Like you're attracted to a male energy. Just like I've been attracted to transgender male to female, transgender female to male. I'm attracted to everything, but I haven't been with straight women. It's not that I'm not attracted to them. I just haven't been with straight women.
And so when you have relations with a gay man, what does that look like?
It kind of depends. I've had a few relationships, and it kind of just depends. A lot of like it can be pegging for sure, but also like we've had like vaginal sex.
When you say pegging, that means you're strapping on and then going into the ass.
It could be a strap on, or it could be anything.
What else?
Anything.
Any phallic object that you've got around?
I've shoved up like cucumbers up people's butts. I've had candlesticks shoved up mine. It's just whatever.
Candlesticks?
Yeah.
Okay.
The holders, not the actual stuff.
You told me in the DMs when I asked you if you wanted to mukbang that you've already mukbang rotten pussy, so you're down to eat anything.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
When?
And you sent that to a message to me.
To you?
Yeah.
Okay, when I'm on Twitter, sometimes I'm a little drunk by myself and alone. I think I just kind of say things.
Okay.
Like when
Have you mukbanged rotten pussy?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of eating out, but I will.
What's rotten pussy?
It's not washed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not rotting, but it's just not a washed. It's fine. And some religions, people don't wash their vaginas. Like they're not allowed to for till Saturdays or something like that. I don't want to offend anyone.
Jews.
It's not Jewish. It's another religion. It's not Jewish people. It's another religion of a girl that I know, and she can't wash till Saturdays.
And that's just her specific religion. That's just her, I think. She just...
I don't know. She told me it was her religion. I'm not educated enough on religions to know this. So
before we move off the trans thing, I got an email from a fan who identifies as a trans.
Okay.
And I want to read some comments that they offered. Okay. So here's the first part. Trisha mentions no feelings of gender dysphoria, which is the medical condition that identifies someone who is transgender. If she were to go to a gender identity therapist and ask to medically transition, she would most likely be denied because she has no gender dysphoria.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say I don't have dysphoria. I hate having a vagina for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like getting a dick, I mean, a clit is an inverted dick, basically. You know what I mean? It's not. I have a penis just like you. It's just little. I have a video from 2015 called like I have a 1-inch penis. Like I've always identified as having a penis. I do. A clit is a penis, so I feel like that's man enough. I don't need to have my full 8 inches or whatever. So I think I have a penis.
Okay, so then she goes on to say, she also mentions a weird fixation with gay men. In the past, she has been obsessed with gay men, which many find weird. This doesn't make her transgender either. It just means she is fetishizing homosexuals like a weirdo.
No, I'm dating men who are into men. Like,
but she's right. How is that not just having a weird obsession with gay men? What does that have to do with being trans?
Because I am a male. Like, I guess if I was a female that like identified as female and was like, yeah, this is my pussy and don't fuck me in the ass and all this shit like that. Like, yeah, but my stimulation comes from the P spot, it's not a G spot.
So you're a trans male, but you're a trans homosexual male.
Yes. But I've dated straight guys. I've dated gay women. I've dated transgender women. I've dated transgender men. I've done it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never dated straight females. And I think they're more, I wouldn't say judgmental. It's fine if you're not into what I am, but a lot of straight females want penetration from an actual elongated penis. Mine's just tucked in.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can see that being an issue, although I see that. Okay, let's not get semantical. Okay. She goes on to say, her explanation of being transgender is wildly incorrect, and she should not be considered a representative of the transgender community at all. She continues,
okay.
It hurts me to see Trisha talking about choosing your gender when you cannot, in fact, choose it. Right. Your gender is with you since birth. It cannot be switched or changed. The reason transgender people are transgender is because their gender doesn't match their sex. If I could change my gender to female to match my female sex organs, I would do it in a heartbeat because I would no longer have gender dysphoria.
Right. Well, first and foremost, I don't want to be a transgender representative at all. And that's why that was my issue with going on anything talking about it. Because that's not, even doing that video, the reason I did that video is because I met someone at one of my shows in Toronto who was male to female, and he looked like a boy. He didn't wear skirts, he didn't wear makeup, nothing. Because he couldn't afford it, but he's like, I can't afford to even wear a denim skirt, but I'm still a female. And I was like, that's so weird, because that's exactly how I felt too. So I shared my story just thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna, because everyone comes to our shows like, you help me. So I'm like, I'm gonna just share my story. And that email, I respect it 100%. I get what that person's saying. I totally get it. I'm not trying to like convince anyone. But on the flip side of that, I've gotten so many messages of like, I feel the exact same way of male to female, female to male, who are like, haven't fully transitioned, but they feel female. Because when I was just on the doctors, like I said, the doctor on the show said like, when you're in the womb, there's all these chromosomes actually like floating around. Like, in fact, you could be male. Like, it could hit you. Like, it could be male and you come out genetically female.
So you are
But you don't care about looking like a male.
I don't care about it. I think maybe later on in life. Right now, this is kind of my thing. It's how I make money. It's like, so for me, I don't care about looking like a male. I like the aesthetic of a woman. Like, I've always thought that, even like naked. If I go to a strip club, I'd rather see a female stripper than like a male stripper. I just like the aesthetic. But if I want to fuck someone, it's usually like I want to be either like fucked in the ass or like with a male. Like, but I will totally like be with females too. That's what I'm saying. Gender and sexuality are not.
You prefer to be fucked in the ass.
As of lately, I was always scared of it because I thought it was like a gay thing to do. You know what I mean? And then like lately, I realized
that's what you are.
That's where I get. Yeah, that's where I get the stimulation. And I just recently found out that I was like, oh, I actually get more stimulated through anal.
Interesting. What do you think?
I don't know how to say it PG. I don't know. I don't want to get demonetized.
Well, it seems completely unrelated to
the gay thing.
Yeah, right.
But I just wonder what's the point of all these labels, because it's like, if I can get this straight, so you identify as a man, you're a drag queen, so that means you can dress like a female, but you're also a gay man, which means you can have sex with dudes.
Right.
But it seems like in a weird roundabout way, you're just trying to justify that you're that you are actually a female.
To justify it? No.
Or just to explain how you have sex with guys and you look like a female.
Sounds to me like you're just a female with a strong personality.
It's hard to explain. No, I don't like being even referred to as like female, but I get that's what I look like, and I get that's what my thing has been
It's hard.
online.
I guess it's hard to understand. It's a very new territory we're on.
I just don't feel comfortable with being a female.
So should we really say he?
Should I refer to you as the? My guest is he is a YouTuber.
That's fine. I think for me, it's like.
But isn't that confusing to the audience? They're like, wait, what?
I think of it like this, right?
You look like a.
When Courtney Cox got married to Dave Arquette, she was Courtney Cox Arquette, right? So you could switch it, but a lot of people when they get married, they keep their name. You know, they don't change their name. Jennifer Aniston was never Jennifer Pitt. She's Jennifer Aniston because that's what she's known as. So for me, I was been known as she all this time for 13 years on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, to change it now, be like, actually call me him. That's totally fine if people prefer that, but like for me, it's not. To me, that's not a big deal. Like you said, I don't think labels is a big deal. And even my coming out wasn't a big deal because me being a male shouldn't be a big deal. I'm still the same person.
It is a big deal, though.
But why?
For a lot of people, it is a big deal because they, unlike you, are uncomfortable with the way they look. So if it was me, for example, I would want to look like male. And to make that transition is very hard, and you get a lot of judgment. So you are lucky that you're okay with your looks, but they are not. And then for you to come out and say I'm transgender, it kind of like cheapens their struggle.
But why? Because it's me. I'm not talking about anyone else. This is my story and my journey and my struggle that I've had my whole life. And it's awful to live as a male like this.
You don't have a problem with being referred to as she.
Right.
And you don't have a problem with how you look. So you don't really have...
I have very many issues. I've had many surgeries.
No, as female.
With the gender.
I do.
And we're talking,
I do.
Because you said that you're okay with your look. You don't care about looking like
I'm not
men.
okay with it. I'm not ready to change because this is how I make money. Like I get made fun of all the time. You talked about it. My tits, my vagina, everyone roasts me on Twitter. Like it's one of those things. I'm not okay with it, but it's how I make money, so I put it out. It doesn't feel good to hear that about my vagina and how my tits and shit being fucked up. It is.
Well,
it's
that's
fucked up.
Different.
No, but I'm saying
I'm not saying if you're happy with your look.
I'm not. I've changed my look.
I'm not saying that though. That's different. I don't like how I look. That's different.
Okay.
I'm talking about you being okay with looking like a female versus wanting to look like a male.
That's not what I'm saying though. Like my job, YouTube, Patreon, all that stuff is me looking like a female. Do I love it? No. Do I want to look like a male? No, I don't know. I don't know what that entails in the future.
So for most transgender people, it's a lot more crucial fight throughout their life than this.
Caitlyn was 60 when she transitioned into the female aesthetic. So her whole life she's invalid to be a female just because she looked like Bruce Jenner. Like it's not to say that is kind of ridiculous.
Well,
like I can transition whenever I
so
want.
when she came out as trans, she also transitioned to female.
At 60. So maybe at 60 I will.
But I'm just explaining to you why the video that you made had such a backlash because.
But it's my story. I'm not saying, hey, if you're transgender, like you should be uncomfortable. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. There's a lot of transgender people who are not uncomfortable with their first body.
It's almost like you're just kind of like taking the easy way out and kind of being transgender because it's cool.
It's definitely not, because if anybody dates me, like let's say I'm a straight female and I only want to date guys, if they look up and see that I'm transgender, do you know how many men are turned off by that? So many men even ask me to this day when I go out with them, like, you're sure you're not a man? Are you sure you weren't born a man? Like, that's so gross. There's so many trannies on Bumble. Like, that's just the reality of it.
But you are
a man. That you weren't born with a penis?
Yeah, that I wasn't born with a penis is what they're saying. Because they're like, there's so many transgender.
But they saw your vagina and they still ask you that?
No, I'm saying beforehand, like when we're on dates, because my point is a lot of people are transphobic. Me coming out transgender is not going to help my dating life. It's not going to. Why would I put that on myself to hurt? I'm trying to date. I'm trying to get married. Why would I put that out there just so people can look up that I'm a transgender if I truly don't believe that?
Are you still trans? Because I haven't saw that.
Oh my God, let's not talk about this. I got in so much trouble.
Yeah, but it's not true.
We kind of have to talk about that
because last time we met you, we talked about the trans thing and. it's kind of blown over, but you haven't talked about it. So do you still stand by the fact that you're trans male?
I do, and I have talked
You're
about it.
You're a T girl.
No, I'd be a T man. And also, I talked about this. I talk about it on other podcasts. I've talked about it. Like, I just did a podcast 2 weeks ago, and I talked about it, how I consider myself transgender. But I don't say it because it offends people. I just did my podcast with Blair White, and she was saying, like, how, like, oh, now in person, I genuinely, like, feel what you're talking about. I still consider myself...
Okay. We've done this.
Okay.
I
I was
understand.
going to say, we're going to go. I still consider it that, but okay.
Okay, that's all good. So you're a gay. You are a gay man. You're a we've established you're a
That's
gay man.
what I like to consider myself.
Okay. Very good.
Oh my God.
I'm a lesbian, by the way. So.
You can't do this. Oh my God, we're getting in trouble.
So anyway, but that's fine. We talked
It's
about
fine
that.
though.
We touched on that.
I go by she and her, and it's fine if a guy.
Hila's a gay man too.
No, you're not. You can't say that. Like she's not.
She's a gay man and I'm a lesbian. It works
You're
out.
not. It doesn't. Oh my God.
We're compatible like that.
I feel like you guys are the most hated. Like you guys are loved, but I also feel like a lot of people hate you guys.
That's very true. I feel that too.
I got a lot be like, why would you go on there? They're the fucking worst, like anti-LGBTQ plus.
Oh, but that's
like
just
that.
not true.
We're so not.
Yeah.
But you just said you're a lesbian and she's trans and you're not.
Jokes.
It's funny.
But see, people don't think it's funny.
I do.
Here we go again.
But you said you. But yeah, I agree. People hate me. I don't know why. I feel like people, even my fans, hate me.
Yeah,
So
that's weird.
figure that out.
It's not true.
So the Brad Pitt marriage. Congratulations on that. Has that been annulled? Are you?
Oh, was I here after or before?
Well, you were announcing. You had a big announcement that you were engaged.
That wasn't. Yeah, that was a troll.
Okay, that was a troll. So
Sorry.
we can say that. So you're good to date people. You're not married.
Yeah, I'm not married.
Okay, good. Did you have sex with the cutout?
No, I definitely did. That was a troll. Okay, that was obvious. But that's like an obvious troll. Like my trans video was very serious. Like obviously that was a troll.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.